Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, everybody, it's Becky Witherspoon, or Coach Becky, as you might want to call me. It's a lovely night up here in Wisconsin. We are having one of our most beautiful days that I always love up here in the summertime. It is when it's still nice and warm, but the humidity is mostly gone. It has been a phenomenal day today. It's been one of those days you just kind of want to laze outside. But hey, I'm doing my live early tonight for a very specific reason. I actually have an appointment here in just a little while, and wanted to get this out of the way a little bit early rather than waiting later when people just maybe don't want to watch it as much. So I apologize for that, but at the same time, it's a great reason. Hey, I'm going to be helping somebody with what I call a wellness profile, which is where I get the kind of the groundwork to know what to do to help somebody. So anyway, tonight is episode number 4. Oh my gosh, in developing a mindset, a winning mindset. And tonight we're going to be talking about tool number 2, a very specific tool. It's kind of a combination, and I'm going to kind of run through this. So you may want to end up watching this a couple of times to make sure that you capture everything that I'm talking about. But I want to read a couple of quotes real quick. I've got them in my description, but I did want to read these out loud to you. Self-confidence is the key to transformation, and transformation begins with keeping the promises you make to yourself. Now, that was said by a man named Ed Mylett, and I've mentioned him in the past. He is somebody that I highly recommend. If you do not know who he is, look him up on YouTube and just start listening to him. He is an incredible person that can really help you change your thinking. Another one that I want to read is what you think about, you bring about. Now, Bob Proctor said that, and some of y'all may know who he is. He's very big in the business development world. And then another one, and this one is even a little bit more profound. A confused mind will always say no. So tonight, hi Amy. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate that. So tonight I'm going to be talking about dreams, vision, goals, action, and affirmations. Now, they kind of go together, and that's why I'm lumping them together tonight. That they are distinct and different. So I want to kind of show you what the differences are between them. And then at the end here, I'm going to give you another exercise. But first off, for those of you who have been watching this series up to this point in time, I gave you an exercise 2 nights ago where I wanted you to write for 10 to 20 minutes. If you did that exercise, please pull it out, because this episode tonight is directly related to that exercise that I gave you the other night. And then if you did do that exercise, if you could just drop a comment below and just said, yes, I did my exercise number 1. And if you also chose a book to start reading from the list that I did, or chose maybe a different book, I'd love to know what book you did choose, and just write that down below as well. So now let's hop right in, because I don't have a lot of time tonight and I don't want to hold you all up either. So, okay, everyone, like I said, if you completed that stuff, pull it out right now, the writing. Okay, so all too often I hear people use the terms dreams, vision, goals, and affirmations kind of almost as though they mean the same thing, and they really do not mean the same thing. So, and as a result, a lot of confusion can happen about these, that can lead to becoming paralyzed in determining your best course of action for achieving what you're wanting to achieve. So what are those actual differences? Now I'm going to read from my notes just like I always do, so that I don't go off on my rabbit trails. But dreams are what you want and desire in your life that are external to you. For example, you want a happy marriage, children, a nice home, nice vehicles, a great career, your own business, friends, wealth, travel, etc. Okay, any of the above and a whole lot more. Okay, it's more of the stuff that, like I said, it's outside of yourself. It's stuff that you can obtain through some action. Okay, all these things, they cannot be absorbed into your being. Okay, they are external. They're the trappings of your life and what you want your life to look like from the outside. Okay, now let's talk about vision. Vision is a completely internal thing. Okay, it's internal by nature. Vision is who you want to become, who you want to be known as. For example, maybe you want to be known as a philanthropist or a community leader or a leader of leaders, a trainer of trainers. You want to be known as someone who helps children achieve the best that they possibly can, to become the best that they can. Now, if you looked up any of the things that I suggested last night, especially the Dash poem I recommended yesterday, vision is directly related to that Dash poem. And in case you haven't heard about it, or maybe this is your first time watching this series, I'm going to actually read the Dash poem. It's very short, but it's very, very profound. Okay, the Dash. This is a poem by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged, said the wrong word. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and to love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you lived your dash? So I mentioned in one of my previous videos that it was as a result of this poem, I realized that at that particular moment in my life, what I thought my tombstone would read was, she had great potential. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want it to be just she had great potential, because that meant I did not live up to my potential. So I ended up starting to delve into developing my mind to changing things about my life. And it put me on a path that took me a totally different direction than I had been on before. So that is vision. Okay, it's who you want to become, who you want to be known as. Now, goals, on the other hand, and this is where a lot of people get confused. They think goals are the end result. No, goals are the specific steps that are required to achieve your dreams and your vision. Okay, they're the benchmarks. They're the things that you must do, the steps that you must take in order to achieve what you're wanting out of your life. Okay, so goals should be identified at the daily, weekly, monthly, annual, 5-year, 10-year, in incremental, in an incremental manner, so that you can actually gauge them. Sometimes it requires specialized knowledge in order to determine the proper steps that are going to be needed to achieve those goals. And that's where reading or getting with people who have walked the path that you're wanting to walk is going to be very, very important. In other words, find someone who has already successfully achieved what you're wanting to achieve. So, examples: you want to lose some weight, then find someone who has already successfully lost weight and, here's the kicker, kept it off. Okay? Now, you want to start a business. Well, find someone who has successfully started and succeeded in the type of business, something similar to what you are wanting to do. Let's see, maybe you want to maybe you don't really have weight that you need to lose, but maybe you want to tone your body up. Maybe you're an athlete and you want to get in a better performance mode. Find someone who has already achieved what you're wanting to achieve and find out how they did it. Follow their path. Learn from what they did so that you can determine the best path for yourself. So you've got all that. Hi, Dee. See you in a little while, hun. And hi, Kathy. So the other thing that is absolutely required, all the other stuff is great, but if you don't implement this particular thing, it's never going to work for you. Action. Action is simply the implementation of your identified goals, the steps. However, to be 100% clear in knowledge without taking the sustained action that's required to implement the knowledge that you have, okay? You can learn a whole lot, but if you don't implement that knowledge, you're wasting your time, okay? I'm just going to say it like it is. You can go to college, you can get a degree, but guess what? If you never use that degree, take action to use that degree, you've wasted a lot of money and a lot of time, okay? So action is absolutely required in order for knowledge to be useful, okay? Knowledge plus sustained action equals success. Plain and simple. So without clear dreams and vision, it's impossible to identify appropriate goals because there is no firm foundation on which to identify the goals, the steps, okay? If you don't know where you're aiming for, you don't know what steps you need to take. So without clear, specific, and detailed goals, you'll forever spin your wheels in the mud, and your dreams and vision will remain elusive and totally unattainable. So let me ask you this. Have you had dreams that you've never been able to realize? I don't know what it could be, okay? If you've been wanting to, I'm just going to use this as an example because it's an easy one to talk about. You've wanted to lose weight. You know you need to lose weight. Oh my gosh, I need to lose weight. I want to lose weight. But you've not achieved any weight loss yet. Ask yourself, have you taken the actions? Have you begun to take the actions that are required in order to actually lose the weight? There's multiple things you can do. And everybody is different, okay? And sometimes there's medical reasons that might be interfering. Well, if you haven't taken the steps to deal with the medical issues, then the other part's going to be hard to deal with as well. So I am looking forward to the health assessment too. Awesome. It's going to be fun, Dee. We're going to have fun. So without a specific destination, you cannot determine a route. You will zigzag your way through your life, never reaching a goal. So the last thing before I give you your action step for tonight is affirmations. Now, these help keep you focused along your path, okay? They help focus your mind. And this is all about mindset. So affirmations are really, really important when it comes to changing your mindset. So they help focus you on the end goal So once you've established what you want to achieve, that's your end goal. Your affirmations should help focus you on that end goal. But affirmations aren't going to be effective if you don't believe that you're even capable of achieving the goals or the dreams, the vision that you're wanting to achieve. Okay. The most effective way to phrase your affirmation is with a "I am committed to" statement, and then follow them up with very specific, measurable action steps, your ideal result, and a time frame. So, according to the book, one of the books that I recommended, which was The Miracle Morning, here's how you might phrase an affirmation. I am committed to doing blank no matter what, so that I can blank by blank. So here's an actual example, something that I am committing to. I am committed to drinking 2 healthy meal shakes and eating 1 colorful healthy meal every single day, and committed to doing 30 minutes of exercise every day, no matter what, so that I can lose 20 pounds by December 31st of 2019. That, my friends, is an affirmation. And it's a very powerful affirmation, okay? Now, I will say this every day moving forward, that affirmation that I just read. As I say this, I am now programming my subconscious mind to do what I need to do to achieve the result that I'm wanting to achieve by the time I want to achieve it. I am reinforcing my level of no matter what commitment, and with daily repetition, that is how affirmations can transform your mindset by your thinking and your results. So, question: do you want your life to once and forever change in a big way? Then you must get laser focused on developing your dreams, your vision, and your goals. But most importantly, get ready to take massive action to implement your goals. Okay, it's time, folks. It's time to fully realize whatever visions, dreams you've had. You're the only one that can make this happen. Nobody else can do it for you. I'm just saying, nobody else can do it for you. Nobody can force you to choose the right food to put into your mouth. Nobody can force you to do the necessary steps to build a business. Nobody can force you to do anything. You have to make the choice. So now's the time. Okay. So here's my action step, and we're going to close this out. Yes, I am actually a little bit ahead of time for a change. Yes, almost done. So action step. Now that you have a better idea what dreams, vision, and goals are, I want you to pull out what you wrote all about the other day. Okay. And because that's going to be very helpful to this exercise. That was an exercise to start the juices flowing in your mind, okay? It was to start your vision and your imagination going, okay? Look through your list. As you read through it, does something stand out as moving you, okay? Does something cause you to feel excited? Okay, something that to this day, if you had the opportunity to do it, you would be willing to do whatever it takes to achieve it. Not that you have already, but that you're willing to start to do that, okay? If nothing on your page is something you could see yourself doing for the rest of your life, given the opportunity, then you'll need to dig a little bit deeper to identify the one thing that you would like to achieve. Let's just focus on one thing. Let's not focus on everything. Just focus on one thing, okay? Whatever it might be, okay? So for me, weight loss. I am absolutely 100% focused on losing that weight by the end of this year, okay? I've lost it before. I know I can do it again. That's one of the great things. So I have the belief, okay? This exercise will help you. In a notebook. Now, this is going to be a little detailed, so I highly encourage anyone who is open to doing this exercise, drop me a note below. I will send you the PDF. It'll have the full instructions, okay? In a notebook or on several pieces of paper, I want you to write at the top of the page the heading long range goals. Then I want you to answer the question, what do I want within the next 1 to 10 years? Take as little time as possible to write your list out. It's just a list, okay? Blah, 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 okay? Set a timer for about 10, maybe 15 minutes and just start writing, again, without interruption. Here's some questions that you could, to help kind of get you started. What do I want to go? What do I want to do? What do I want to be? What do I want to see? What do I want to have? Where do I want to go? What would I like to share? Okay. Once your timer goes off, put your pen down. The next thing to do will be to place beside each thing you want how long you believe it will take you to achieve that. For example, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, okay? Yes, D, I will send you the PDF. In fact, I'll print it out for you tonight. Now, once you've written the one, how long you think it'll take, check to see if your goals are in balance. And what I mean by that is there kind of a good flow between hi Chris, all of the different years of how long you think it might take to achieve something? Do you have mostly 1 or 2 years or 3 years? Or do you have mostly 5 to 10 or 20 years down the road? Okay, that would be out of balance. But on the other hand, okay, so now choose from that, okay? So basically, if you have too many in one area, then you may not really know what you're wanting to do long term. Whereas if you have too many for the long term, you may be having an issue trying to decide whether or not to get started, okay? It's really telling when you look at that list. Now, choose what from your list, okay? Choose what you believe are your top 2 to 3 things that are the most important to you out of each time category, okay? Lastly, for each, write a very short paragraph, just a few lines, which includes the following: a detailed description of what you want. Be very detailed. Remember how I described how detailed you had to be in order to build a house, okay? You need to be very detailed. Then number 2, you need to answer this question within that same paragraph: the reason why you want to achieve the item that you described. Here you'll find out if you really, really want it, or if it's just a passing fantasy, okay? Or fancy, whatever, just a passing whim. If you can't come up with a very clear and convincing reason why you want it, you should probably categorize this item as a whim, okay? And maybe replace it with something else, okay? One of the ways I've heard is described to figure out if something truly is something you want is to say, does it make me cry? Okay? So you see, in conclusion, what you want is a powerful motivator only if there is a good reason behind it, okay? Now, the last chapter of your life hasn't been written yet. I just want to emphasize that. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday or how many times you've already failed. It only matters what you do next and next and next, okay? The past got you where you are right now, okay? What you've done right now. But what you do next is what will get you to where you want to be going next, okay? So decide where you want to go, then take the next step toward that destination. And remember, in order to not become discouraged if you feel your progress is slow, some people can't move quite as fast, okay? You need to keep in mind the end goal. Don't dwell on how far you still have to go. Celebrate how far you've already come, okay? Progress is still progress, even when it's slow, okay? So that's it for tonight, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I love every last one of you. If you came in a little bit late, rewatch or hit the replay when it uploads fully, and see what the action step is for tonight, because this is really an important one for you guys. I want to thank you all again for being a part of my journey. Thank you for letting me be a little bit a part of your journey. And let's do this together. Do your action step and drop your comments below to let me know that you've done them. Love y'all. See you tomorrow. It's going to be another doozy one. In fact, it's going to be really good. So, ta-ta.